Back at it today with another season preview, as today we're going to be looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks. No real intro needed here, let's get right into the video. The Diamondbacks are coming off a 74-win season in which they were baseball's most improved team. That's right, they went from 52 wins in 2021 all the way up to, as I said, 74 wins, so all in all, it was a 22-game improvement. But while the improvement was nice, obviously they still didn't make the playoffs, and this has been the case for the Diamondbacks for the past couple years, as their last postseason appearance was back in 2017 where they were swept by the Dodgers in the NLDS. Now getting back to the present-day Diamondbacks, they've made a couple intriguing pickups this offseason in Kyle Lewis, Miguel Castro, Gabriel Moreno, Lourdes Gurriel, Evan Longoria, and Andrew Chafin. As for their subtractions, they have lost a few important names in Dalton Varsho and Ian Kennedy. Now as for this team, offensively last year they weren't too good, as they had a .689 team OPS which ranked 21st and 173 home runs which ranked 14th. Looking at this year's projected lineup, I want to start with Christian Walker, who was all in all one of the best first basemen in baseball last year, as he hit .242 with 36 home runs and an .804 OPS, and he also won a Gold Glove. They also have the number 2 prospect in baseball right now in Corbin Carroll, who last year in limited time hit .260 with 4 home runs and an .830 OPS. Carroll is going to be extremely exciting to watch this year. He has some pretty good pop to go along with ridiculous speed, and I think he's going to be one of the favorites to win the National League Rookie of the Year. They also have Ketel Marte, who last year did have a down season as he only hit .240 with 12 home runs and a .727 OPS. In the outfield, they have a very exciting and underrated player in Jake McCarthy, who last year hit .283 with 8 home runs and 23 stolen bases. I'm a huge fan of McCarthy. I think he has the potential to put up 15 to 20 home runs, all while stealing 40 bases. Another important piece in this lineup is Josh Rojas, who last year hit .269 with 9 home runs and 23 stolen bases. As mentioned earlier, they picked up Lourdes Gurriel from the Blue Jays as part of the Dalton Varsho trade. Gurriel is a pretty solid outfielder, as last year he hit .291 with 5 home runs and a .743 OPS. They have another really young and talented outfielder with lots of potential in Alek Thomas, who last year hit .231 with 8 home runs and 4 stolen bases. Behind the plate, they have a couple options in Carson Kelly and Gabriel Moreno. If I had to guess, they're going to start out the year with Kelly, but I think as the season goes on, Moreno is going to get more and more at-bats. Another name I want to mention in this lineup is Pavin Smith, who last year hit .220 with 9 home runs. As for a few other names who could see some at-bats in this lineup, we have Nick Ahmed, Evan Longoria, Geraldo Perdomo, and Kyle Lewis. I also want to mention one of their top prospects in Jordan Lawler. He's the number 11 prospect in baseball, who is a shortstop, and he probably won't see the big leagues this year, but you never know. If he plays very well, he may get a late season call-up. So as a whole, with this team offensively, I do think they're going to be slightly improved off of last season. Yes, they lost Dalton Varsho, but they're going to get a full season out of Corbin Carroll, and they also picked up Lourdes Gurriel and Gabriel Moreno, who I think will also elevate this offense. I also want to mention I am a huge fan of this outfield. This is one of my favorite outfields in the game today, in Alek Thomas, Jake McCarthy, and Corbin Carroll. They are all going to be really fun to watch this year. Getting onto their pitching, it wasn't too good last year, as they had a 4.25 team ERA which ranked 23rd. Looking at this starting rotation, they have a legitimate ace in Zach Gallen, who last year in 184 innings posted a 2.54 ERA with 192 strikeouts. They have another very good starter in Merrill Kelly, who broke through last year, as in 200 innings he posted a 3.37 ERA with 177 strikeouts. Moving down this rotation, it does drop off from here, as their third option will be Madison Bumgarner, who last year in 159 innings had a 4.88 ERA. Zach Davies will get some looks at the back end of this rotation, as last year in 134 innings he had a 4.09 ERA. As for the 5th spot in the rotation, it could either go to Ryan Nelson, Dre Jameson, Tommy Henry, or their top prospect in Brandon Pfaadt. So with looking at this rotation, it's not going to be the best in the league, but I do think it's going to be improved off of last year. I think Brandon Pfaadt is going to get called up, and I think he's going to pitch very well for the back end of this rotation. Moving on to their bullpen, it was their weakness last year, as I had a 4.58 bullpen ERA, which ranked 25th. When looking at the 9th inning role, it looks like it belongs to Mark Melancon, who last year locked down 18 saves while posting a 4.66 ERA. As for some other impact arms in this bullpen, we have Andrew Chafin, Joe Mantiply, Kevin Ginkel, Miguel Castro, Kyle Nelson, and Noe Ramirez. So I'm not going to lie, this bullpen is pretty weak, and it is definitely the Diamondbacks' big weakness heading into 2023. So now that we went through this roster top to bottom, let's take a look at the Diamondbacks' outlook record-wise and go over why I think they are going to surprise everyone. I get it, on paper the Diamondbacks don't look like a plus 500 team, but I think they are going to finish above 500 this season. In fact, I think they're going to be around 85 to 90 wins max. I know at this point, with the current roster they have, it is a huge overprojection, but I'm all in on the Diamondbacks. They are a really good team, I think, and I think they are going to surprise everyone and flirt with a postseason spot. I I think their offense and their starting rotation is going to be improved off of last year. As for their bullpen, I did mention it is their weakness and it does worry me. I think it's going to cost them a few games, but I still think the D-backs are going to be all in all a very good baseball team. I believe Corbin Carroll and Jake McCarthy are going to have huge seasons. I think they are both going to put up all-star caliber numbers, and I also think Ketel Marte is going to have a big bounce-back season. I think Zach Allen and Merrill Kelly are going to anchor this rotation, and I think Zach Davies will be serviceable, and I also think Brandon Pfaadt is going to get called up and make a big impact. And I know I'm going to get a ton of hate in the comments for projecting the D-backs at 85 to 90 wins. I get it, it may not be what they look like on paper, but the Diamondbacks, they're my breakout team of 2023. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.